Well, welcome back to the channel, man. We're doing a recap of UFC 327, and I'm gonna start from the bottom. If you want to skip to the Jiri and Carlos fight, I will put a timestamp on the screen right now. But I'm gonna start from the bottom of the fight, make my way up. It was a good card, though. I will say that. Overall, great card. But damn. But we'll get to that. Alright, now, I ain't gonna lie. A man was on the clock, so I wasn't able to catch all of these, but I will go through what I did see and what I didn't see. To start the card, we had Charles Radke and Francisco Prado, and I did not see this fight, but I saw unanimous 30-26. Looked like Charles Radke whooped his ass. Kind of what I expected. Maybe not that bad, but kind of what I expected. So yeah, not too shocking there. In the next fight, I didn't see this. I still haven't even seen the finish. But hey, good shit to Vicente Luque, I guess. Maybe Kelvin Gastelum needs to go up to light heavyweight. But I didn't expect that out of Vicente, so good shit there. Chris Padilla and Markel Medeiros. Honestly, dude, I thought Chris Padilla won this fight, especially with the point deduction in the third round for Medeiros. Medeiros was landing really good elbows and a lot of the stronger shots, but Chris Padilla was just so much volume, which is always what he's doing. It's what he's best at, and he just pushes a crazy pace, and he did that, and I really thought he won maybe all 3 rounds. I don't really know how that was a draw, but it was a good fight. They both looked good. I thought Chris Padilla won. On to the prelims. Tatiana Suarez and Lupi Godinez. I honestly only saw like the first minute, and Tatiana got caught. Lupi had her on the ground. Tatiana got up, and then Lupi just like threw her back on the ground. And then I was like, okay, well shit, I'm cooked. Tatiana's cooked. And then 10 minutes later, I see Tatiana got the dub. So I did not see this finish either, but good shit to Tatiana. I expected her to win, not in this kind of performance, but hey, that was the pick, so we got it. I was only able to catch pieces of Mateusz Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovic, but it was pretty much what I expected though from Gamrot. He just pushed a crazy wrestling pace, and Ribovic couldn't stop it. Gamrot is still, a very good lightweight. He further proved that tonight, and he's a very tough matchup for a lot of lightweights. I don't see a lot of people having an easy fight with him, and he seems to continue to keep getting better. So definitely still a guy to watch out for at lightweight. The Kevin Holland and Randy Brown fight, I wasn't able to catch much of that either. I saw some glimpses, and the majority of what I saw was just Kevin Holland talking to Randy Brown. He asked him if he was from the United States. He asked him if he wanted to play basketball. Some other good shit like that. Some classic Kevin Holland shit. But it seemed like Kevin Holland was just outstriking him on the feet from what I saw, and that's again what I expected. So good performance by Kevin Holland. And to end the prelims, we had Aaron Pico versus Patricio Pitbull, and Aaron Pico kind of whooped bro's ass. It was what I expected, but he looked good. The main part I remember is at the end of the second round, Aaron Pico got Patricio Pitbull on the ground and was landing ground and pound, and it sounded crazy. It sounded like a middleweight throwing ground and pound. Aaron Pico's ground shots are scary, and he looked good. He looked really good, so good performance by Pico. A really good bounce back after the Lerone Murphy fight. And he'll probably get a fun matchup for the next fight. So yeah, it was a good bounce back for Aaron Pico for sure. And on to the main card, man. We started with Cub Swanson and Nate Landwehr, and Cub Swanson got the dub. He got the knockout. He looked good. He looked solid. He looked technical. And it was just a good performance and a good last fight for Cub Swanson. I'm glad he was able to go out on a win. That's nice. And it was a great knockout, so good for Cub Swanson. I don't really know where Nate Landwehr goes from here, but hey, good shit for Cub Swanson. Man, Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker fucking sucked. Okay, we had the battle of the glass chins, and these two dudes just had a light sparring sesh. It looked like two dudes got together and said, we're going to have a little spar sesh this weekend, not go too crazy. That's basically what it was, with a couple fancy kicks thrown in, and that fight fucking sucked. Probably the worst fight on the card. Not even probably. Worst fight on the card. That was definitely the fight to go, go get your food ready, that shit was ass. Not what I expected at all. I think the majority of the fan base expected, a crazy fun fight, a knockout on either side. And we got the opposite. So not what I expected from this fight. I kind of thought Johnny Walker won, honestly, but you can't, who cares? You can't be upset either way because neither of them really did much of anything. So boring ass fight, worst fight of the card, and the battle of the chinny chins just called a truce. I don't know. Next fight on the card was Josh Hokett versus Curtis Blades, and oh my gosh, dude, if you didn't catch this one, you're gonna have to run it back, dude. Josh Hokett looked amazing. Well, let me take that back. Josh Hokett started great. He came out aggressive, hurt Curtis Blades early, stuffed the takedown, threw up a couple middle fingers, and was looking great. And then about maybe 3 minutes into the first round, it started to look like he was gassing out. And Curtis Blades hurt Hokett. And by the end of the first round, I was like, oh shit, Hokett's done. It looked like he could barely stand. They go to the corner, he doesn't even sit down. I think he just gets a little swish of water, little pat on the back, and they send him back out there. And I was like, this guy's cooked. He's cooked. But he got a second wind. I don't know from where, but he got some sort of second wind, and it was just, they just continued to do it. I mean, the pace they set at heavyweight was insane. It broke the record for combined significant strikes in a 3-round heavyweight fight. And it felt like it, dude. If you watched this fight, it looked like two welterweights almost. They were just throwing. Curtis Blades' chin has to be applauded. He landed, I think, a solid more amount of significant strikes, but he got beat the fuck up bad. There were a couple times Curtis was able to get him on the ground or get him close to getting on the ground, but Hokett looked solid wrestling and with his takedown defense, and he was able to withstand what Curtis Blades threw out and was able to just deal out more. I mean, it was a great fight. And a lot of people have opinions about Josh Hokett, love him or hate him, but tonight he proved he is a top heavyweight for sure. It was a great performance. And they also announced shortly after this that Josh Hokett is going to fight Derek Lewis on the White House card now. And if this fight didn't already happen, cool, fair game. But I think putting Josh Hokett against Derek Lewis is fucking stupid. Curtis Blades was the 5th ranked heavyweight fighter. You take a chance on Josh Hokett, giving him a big jump up in competition, kind of fast tracking him, because heavyweight's dead. He wins in an amazing performance, and then you rush him back against somebody ranked 8th or 9th or 10th coming off a loss. It just doesn't really make sense to me. And on top of that, Derek Lewis could still knock him out. So in that off chance that Derek Lewis does knock him out, that kills the hype for Josh Hokett. It doesn't end it, but it puts a significant halt in it just for Derek Lewis to get a KO on the White House card. I don't get it. It's a fun fight. It's a cool fight, but it just doesn't make sense to me. But enough about that. We'll go on to the next fight. And man, Paulo looked really good against Mirzakhanov. To start the fight, he was chopping the leg, moving around good, keeping his distance pretty good, which was definitely, I'm assuming, the game plan for him. And he was landing heavy body shots. Azamat was definitely reacting to him, and they were doing some damage for sure. In the second, it looked like Paulo was kind of slowing down a little bit, and maybe he was gassing out. But he was also able to get a second wind and was able to keep the pressure up. And in the third, started landing some heavy shots on him and caught him with I think it was a straight, maybe it was a hook, hurt him, landed a head kick. And I honestly think there was a head kick that Azamat blocked with his left arm, and I think it broke his arm. After that, he wasn't really throwing the left hand, and shortly after, I think he got hit with a head kick again on that hand, and that's when he kind of went down, and I think he kind of held the arm weird too. I think Paulo broke his arm. It was a great performance by Paulo. Definitely adds some interesting matchups to light heavyweight, and he looked huge. It's crazy he made 185. It looked like he could fight at heavyweight, so he looked great, looked big, crazy win for him. And another fun fight. The whole main card was fun besides this sparring session. You know, this is what really pulled it down, but still another good fight here. And then on to the main event. Man. I don't even know where to start. Obviously, this is not the reaction I wanted to have to make for this fight. To start the fight, they were kind of just feeling each other out. Both throwed a couple leg kicks, throwing the jab. Carlos was feinting the left hook a lot, trying to get that in range. And at a certain point, Jiri went in. I think he threw like a couple hooks or something. Carlos tried to counter, stepped back weird on his right leg, and completely blew his knee out. Some people are saying ACL. I kind of thought it looked like Achilles. If you look at the clip, it looked like his whole back leg like shook almost. Like it was bad, really bad. And when that happened, I was like, oh shit, okay, Jiri's got it, you know. And he started throwing heavy leg kicks on the left leg. Carlos was slipping. Carlos was falling. Obviously couldn't really maintain his balance well. And all Jiri had to do was really just poke him and move. You know, at that point, it's a wounded animal, man. You're fighting a wounded animal. Just don't get stupid. And there was a moment where Jiri kind of walked up to him and did like the let's fight, you know, like point at the ground thing. And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? The man's leg is hurt. He's a power puncher. And you're standing in front of him telling him to throw hands. And, you know, he did that a little bit. They threw a little bit. Then he kind of went back to throwing leg kicks. Kind of looked like he was like, no, like he's hurt. Let me go back to hurting the leg. Then he flip-flopped back again. I think he did another, like, let's fight point down thing. There was a point where Carlos Ulberg tried to throw a kick and just fell because he couldn't even stand on his right leg. Literally probably like 15, 20 seconds before Jiri got caught. I'm thinking, you need to back up, man. Carlos still has the power. A wounded animal is a dangerous animal, man. You need to back up. And 10 seconds later, Jiri says, oh, let's go. Let me go face to face. Perfect hook range with a guy who can't move. Like, it's just so frustrating. And obviously the post-fight speech, he was saying, you know, like, oh, I felt bad, you know, I didn't want to win like that. And I get that. When it happened, I was saying not like this, you know, I wanted Jiri to win, but I felt bad for Ulberg. I didn't want Jiri to win like that. But I especially didn't want Jiri to lose like that. You can't, like, it looked like his brain couldn't decide how he wanted to handle the fight. But Carlos Ulberg just kept fighting, which is exactly what he was supposed to do. And it was honestly, as much as it hurts to say it, it wasn't even a great performance. It was just, he was able to catch him. Jiri put himself in a position to get caught, and Carlos caught him. He did the one thing that he could have done in that situation, and he pulled it out. I don't know. And I will say, to be fair to Carlos Ulberg, before the knee injury, he didn't land him flush, but there were a couple times already where it looked like he was getting in that hook range, getting the timing down, and I was already getting a little bit worried, like, hey, those Pereira looking hooks, you know, I don't know. So I was a little worried for the chin early into the fight. And again, you know, when a guy's hurt, he's gonna throw hard. You know, Carlos Ulberg, I think, said it not in the post-fight speech, but in the post-fight little show thing. They say, you know, what were you thinking after that happened? And he was like, I knew I had to knock him out. And he knocked him out. Really sad performance by Jiri. You know, I kind of wish he just saw red. I wish he saw red and said, oh, let me stomp on the knee. Let me keep throwing these leg kicks. Let me jab, circle around him. Because he had it. But hey, man, I guess it wasn't in the plot. It is what it is. And to cap it off, with Ulberg's injury, and obviously this isn't his fault. It just is what it is. But now how long will we have to wait for a light heavyweight championship fight? I mean, it could be 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, a year. Are they going to do an interim? Like, I don't know what light heavyweight looks like now. So, yeah, Just a disappointing end to the night, but a great card overall. Early prelims were all good fights. Prelim card was all good fights. And, you know, on the main card, again, 4 out of 5, really good. So, this was a good card. Not the ending I wanted to it, of course. I made that pretty clear. But yeah, good card, man. Damn. In the words of Jiri, man, fuck.